Okay, I think it's time, so we can go ahead and get started. All right, thank you everybody for joining today. For those of us on Zoom, YouTube, and Facebook live streams, thank you. We can go ahead and get started. So please join me in prayer as I start us off. Dear Heavenly Parents, Jesus, continue touching and telling all of our good ancestors in the spirit world. Good evening, afternoon, night, morning, whatever time it is for us everywhere around the world. We thank you so much for allowing us to come together once again this month to do Ocean Providence Connect call. I really pray that today, through our speaker today, that we are all able to not just learn about the different initiatives going on around the world with regards to Ocean Providence, but also feel motivated and inspired about the Providence, about your will, and about the things that we can do ourselves as individuals and as a movement to make the world a better place. I really pray that we can all support each other in our efforts and also do our best in our own personal efforts to really help move your province forward. I really pray for True Mother and her safety and health, and that every meeting that we have, including this one, can be used as some sort of condition for her sake, to help her situation and to help the situation of the rest of the world. And we, yeah, really pray that you're able to be with us throughout this entire call, and that we are really able to learn what you want us to learn today. Thank you so much. We love you. I pray this in my name, Ju Chang, third generation member of Blessed Center family, attending Holy Mother Hun. Amen. Aju. Okay, thank you everybody for joining today. So for anybody who's new, today and usually every third week of the month, we have something called Ocean Providence Connect, which is essentially a networking Zoom call where we invite Ocean Providence leaders or members around the world to basically give us updates and reports on the different Ocean Providence related initiatives that they're doing around the world. And it's kind of meant to be this call where we're able to come together and see how we are all working toward the same effort and the different ways that we're doing it. So, but yeah, first, before we actually get into the presentation, get to our speaker, we want to give a very short, like 5-10 minute introduction to Ocean Providence presentation because by giving you guys an understanding of what Ocean Providence is in general, you're able to see kind of how these different initiatives actually relate to the larger goal, to the larger providence of God. So I will do a quick presentation on that. So yeah, just a quick introduction to Ocean Providence. What is it and why is it the key to world peace and unification? Now, before we start, for those of us who are not very familiar with Ocean Providence or kind of don't know how important it is, the best way to see its importance and its relevance is to take a look at True Parents and how much time they spent on Ocean Providence. So how much time did True Parents spend on Ocean Providence? Well, the proof is there in the photos, right? There are so many photos. We only have a few of them, but there are so many, right? Hundreds, maybe even thousands. I don't know. But yeah, you can see, right? True parents spent a lot of time on the boat, out on the water, fishing, in tackle shops. Yeah, you can see how much time they went out. And kind of, yeah, and also in different places, right? You see Alaska, the Hudson River, Hawaii, Korea, these different places they went out fishing, they went out boating, they worked with tackle. And they were very serious about it, right? Truefather himself developed his own tuna fishing method and taught it to members at Ocean Challenge, which kind of just goes to show it wasn't just like a fun side gig, right? It was genuinely something they were very serious about, seeing that he actually developed his own method to tuna fish, right? Not only that, but Truefather and many members, right? They designed and built boats, right? They entered the boat building industry. Truefather poured a lot of his heart and soul into the designing of the Good Go. And look at that. At some point, they were producing hundreds of boats, right? Our members. They also try to enter different industries in the marine industry, like transportation industry, food processing, fish farming, seafood and sushi. And so you can see that there are so many things that True Parents, so much effort that True Parents put into Ocean Providence. But what exactly are the goals of Ocean Providence? Why were they doing all this for the sake of it? Well, the goals of Ocean Providence must align with the goals of Family Federation. So what is the goal of our movement in general? Well, the Family Federation, established May 1st, 1994, is titled Family Federation for World Peace and Unification. And so it's very clear that our goals are world peace and unification. And, that would include things like the solution to poverty and hunger, solution to wars, unification of religions, culmination of materialism and atheism, all humanity accepting true parents, those kinds of things, right? But they're all under this larger umbrella of world peace and unification. However, world peace and unification are very big goals, so true parents must have had a substantial plan to actually achieve these huge goals. So what exactly was this plan? Well, True Father describes, what these goals of world peace and unification actually entail, and he says this. I want to tear down the walls between religions and between races and fill in the gap between the rich and the poor. Once that is done, we can reestablish the world of peace that God created in the beginning. I'm talking about a world where no one goes hungry and no one sheds tears. And so he's very clear about what world peace and unification actually entails, right? To reestablish the world of peace, we must, one, tear down the walls between religions, which is the unity of religions, tear down the wall between races, which is the unity of all people, and fill in the gap between the rich and the poor, which is the resolution of poverty and hunger and equalization. So basically, he was able to kind of break down these goals into smaller goals for us, right? Now, when we take a look at these different goals that we have as a movement, we can see that it's not just spiritual things, but also external issues like uh, poverty and equalization, right? So that goes to show that our movement is not just a spiritual movement, and True Father himself says this. He says, I am the founder of this gigantic spiritual movement, but I am also laying the foundation to solve future physical problems of the world. Since I'm so enthusiastic and have so many plans about the ocean, anyone who comes to the Unification Church cannot help but pay attention to the ocean. And so, the ocean providence was essentially this heavenly plan to solve the physical problems of the world. Now, with regards to physical problems, what are physical problems that we need to focus on? Well, True Father says, as the true parent, right, he says, why am I doing all this? It's because as the true parent, I want to take responsibility for those suffering from hunger. My heart is not to give up on anyone in the world. They are all our brothers and sisters. We are the true parents who came to earth to save all humanity. All people are our children. How can we not be concerned about those who are starving to death? The reason I am engaged in ocean enterprises is that through them we can save those people. And True Mother also talks about this hunger issue and about how humanity's future is found in the ocean. She says even during our busy schedules, we would find ways to visit a river or the sea. We didn't go solely to admire the scenic beauty or to enjoy a leisurely fishing trip. We rode rough waves to tell the people of the world that humanity's future is found in the sea. And so, in summary, right, in very simple terms, Ocean Providence is true parents' plan to solve the world's poverty and hunger problems. And so, with that basic understanding of Ocean Providence, I want to introduce today's presenter, which is Reverend Cosmos Obi Okok from Nigeria, currently at a refugee camp. He's the founder of Heavenly Parents Fish Farm Academy, which is an initiative he started based off of the goals of Ocean Providence and True Parents' heart for Ocean Providence. So I really pray that today, everyone who's watching is able to not just learn from him, but also be inspired about what he's going to be talking about today. So, and a note, as he shares, I want to mention that it is a recording, but if anyone has any questions for him, please leave it in the chat and we can relay them to him so that he can answer later on. But yeah, Oma, if you can share his presentation, that'd be great. Yeah, and also while she's doing that, I think it's a bit difficult technically. Um, I think I also want to mention that if anybody has questions about ocean provenance in general, you can also keep those questions in mind for the Q&A section later on. So, yeah. All right.
Okay, so one disclaimer is that because his connection is sometimes spotty depending on the weather and things like that, he just like he did last time, last update, it is a recording, and this time a little bit the sound might be a little low. So if the sound is low on your side, please put the volume up while this is going. And also another disclaimer, I am the one that's actually like playing the sound while advancing the slides. So I might make mistake here and there and like go back and forth. So please, leave me some leeways there. But yeah, so I'm gonna start it and then let's watch it. And yeah, as Chung has said, if you have any questions for him, he hasn't managed to log in today yet, but he might join later. So if you have any questions, please just like put it in the chat. And we might be able to answer it today. He might be able to answer it today, or maybe, next time. Okay, I'm gonna start it.
Greetings from Africa. This is Reverend Cosmas Obi, reporting for the Ocean Providence activities in Nigeria again. Exactly from the Heavy Berries Fish Farm again. And I'm going to read it, which is meant to be Abuja local government area, plus West Republic of Nigeria. Before we continue, I'd like us to have a quotation from the true parents. True parents said the problems of the world aren't so important to you. There are situations today in some countries where millions and millions of people are starving. Can you understand that? No, you cannot understand that. What I have to do is connect the better side of this world to the spiritual world. And then I have to turn my eyes down into the deepest hell. And I have to pay attention to the most miserable situations. I have to solve that whole thing. Yeah, so this particular case, we are very interested in it. I feel as two parents speaking to me when he says you, I'm looking at myself as Masubi. And when he says I have to turn my eyes down, I'm thinking Masubi has to turn his eyes down to the deepest hell. So whenever he says what he has to do, I feel I and you are surely standing up to do these things. And when he says you, it's not it is for all of us, myself and all of us watching and listening to this presentation. Thank you. Let us see the efforts we're trying to put together. So for those who are not familiar, Heavenly Parents Fish Farm Academy, it's for me a fetus in the womb of credible initiatives and visions. I think many people want to contribute in making the world better. And the Heavenly Parents Fish Farm Academy is one of such initiatives. It's still very young. That's why I say it is a fetus in the womb. And it has some characteristics. While a fetus in the womb, it has some major parts of the body created in order that the other ones will be developed. And then when the body comes out from the womb, it all grows, unanimously in a kind of interdependence, from mutual development, and the human being is formed. Meaning that there are fundamental units. The Heavenly Parents Academy is founded. It has a heaven and earth skills acquisition unit. This unit would lead us to engineering and technology, in order to amplify the research. We have the Holy Fish Hatchery. The hatchery is for production, agriculture, community support. It's also for income generation and research, to increase solve the world's food problem and bring development. We have the livestock feed unit, which I call abbreviated. Should be Heavenly Life Grow. Everything to me is centered on heaven. Life Grow. When we want to have a livestock feed system where we produce feed, to support the network of agricultural activities we're carrying and make community a better place, life a better, worthy to live. So we are counting on how this, have the crop farming and fish farming units, which are also units of the Heavenly Parents Fish Farm, which we have to develop very well. All of these form a very giant network in agro activities so that can create impact in the community and bring about development for humanity as a whole in general. So you can see, like I've said, that is the great compartments or the great units of the Parents Fish Farm Academy. So let us start with crop farming. The crop farming, we're starting with it because of the many activities that we're carrying on now. We are into farming. We have almost 3 hectares of land we are exploiting. Now on this table here, I've just made it to be clear for somebody who has interest maybe to understand more and go to what we're doing in the farms. We have planted soybean in at least 1 hectare, and the portion plot A is 1 hectare, plot B is more than 1 hectare. We have soybean and granules. We have plot C. Plot C is a 1/3 hectare. It's patches we are still planting. We hope to start harvesting maybe from this moment. Henceforth, even if the climate is not favorable. Actually, we are doing this in order to accrue an experience and a better way forward. What we're doing is still very primitive. It requires so much input, especially physical input, because I have to do so much work physically, manually, and we are doing this as a foundation to get into let me say, mechanized agricultural practices. Yeah, because with the technology coming in, or want to bring in technology and then boost productivity, reduce demand, labor, something like that, and then increase productivity and have greater impact to achieve the goals we have established this. So when you look at this picture are showing some particular farm work we carried out. We had to, explore the piece of land, have to make fire breaks, set a fire because the environment difficult to clear the only burning in a particular time. Then we have to clean it. Then we have to remove the shrubs and the tree stumps because we want it to be level. Previously, the people here gave us this piece of land and we were planting yams, which requires what they call heaps, mounds. And there are so many, we have to make it level so that it should be adapted to the type of crops we have chosen. Soybean, 3 months crops, 3 to 4 months crops. So we also had to do manual tilling of the land. And, we are also doing, when we plant, we have to do weeding. In weeding, that is a control of herbicides and even application of fertilizer. We still need a lot of training and understanding to move forward. So we are really doing this with great excitement, with determination to make the way forward a reality. So when you look at this, you can see like the first plot A we planted soybean. You just see the little beauty it created. You will see how the farm looks like. This is just a cross section of that particular section is farm. You can see cross section of plot B. I couldn't put a video. I have to take different from different angles in order to just let people see some of the work we're doing. And you can see here we are bringing in labor, that is here there is a local planters who do manual planting. We're even experimenting how to do line planting in Canada pictures. So we have just summarily made a table of particular challenges faced as far as the crop farming is concerned. Transportation means the portion of land we are using is about 3 kilometers from where we live. So trekking up and down is a problem. Transportation is the problem for us. And the other part is especially the threshing of the soybean, because as we're going to harvest it has to be threshed. So there is just a manual way, but which is very difficult for us. It's a very big challenge. No matter what, whatever be the case, we must still just do be going ahead. But truly, if we have a thresher, a multi-purpose crop thresher, it would be good for us, to reduce this power and make us help us meet up with time. Then we have to replant. Replanting for us will not be so uniform because we didn't plant all of the plots in a particular time. There is a lot of, patches of land that need to be made free for us and so forth. So organizing the land for planting, is a little bit a challenge. And the general work we have to do, the climate coming. But we cannot give any gap. We must always keep on doing something. So planting to plant. The land increase, farmland increase is that the indigenes have to harvest their crops, and if possible, land adds. I think we'll be very grateful having as much land as possible to exploit. Then we here, in all what we're doing, there has been a spark in the environment where we live, many people have heard of what we are doing, especially when they saw the outlay of the soybean farm. It has some beauty. And in fact, people, they are not used to cultivating it yet. And seeing something new creates some inspiration. And in fact, people were always trying to like say, something different is happening here. And the authorities for us, I'm a refugee, our own head of administration is the United Nations, where we're under them. We have, where I am is a sub office for the regional office for the Cameroon Refugees Intervention. So the head of sub office has been regularly visiting the farm because she had made great efforts to see that this farm is a reality. It should be realized. The project should be realized. So I've seen somebody put in this much effort. She was always very thrilled. And, in fact, even the chief of the community, this in behind, look below here, he also had to spend time to come and see what I'm doing. Let me say what we're doing. He's very impressed. And even some discouraged refugees are finding inspiration. Many people, even the community, are like, oh, we would like to start doing this. In fact, I am very happy about this. Even if I have to do it for sustainability for other purposes, but the fact that, let me say, a primary fact for me is that people should be inspired and then copy. And then this kind of way of doing things should flourish. This vision should develop. So I'm a little bit proud of what is going on from what we have done. In fact, the echoes are great. It's highly echoed in many places. People even come to see what we're doing. So I really want to thank everybody for the support prayers and what we're doing to me is really creating impact. It's not only when we have to sell and have money and other things, but the fact that we are doing something like this and it is creating impact and calling for many people to come in and invest in this way. I'm very grateful. So now let us talk about the livestock feed production unit, which is Life Flow. This particular unit, we targeted having some machineries. It need many machines, of course. All the units need machines. This particular one, we have a 3-head pelletizer. This pelletizer is not yet installed. We have a small grinder and one we're struggling to get and fix. It had problems. So we have not yet been able to install these machines, keep them working technically and financially and so forth. Whatever it is, we have to do it. This unit is soon coming into activity. And behold, if it comes up, it will be a very important unit for us. It will permit us to expand our livestock activity, especially in rearing of animals and birds and, improving our life and even generating money. So we're still counting on how to install these machines. Possibly, in subsequent times, more machines should be coming. Yeah, so the unit, they are not very operational now, but it will soon pick up life. You can see this is our academy setup where we have what we call the academy itself by structure. Where you can see it from the pictures. We're building a section of the academy. We wanted to add it because we needed somewhere that can serve as a store. Where we can be keeping our grains and even keeping our livestock materials. Actually, we need more construction, so we're putting up this one. And we periodically, or time to time, not periodically, but sometimes we are always having small activities to work within our academy in the skills acquisition unit. Sometimes we do some work. The place is looking something that is looking at something that is serious. So we're trying to develop the environment, increase our infrastructure and the working spaces. Here you can see the skills acquisition unit of the parents fish farm academy. We're talking of elementary welding, elementary carpentry, elementary plumbing, elementary cleaning, and so forth. We have some of our welding materials, and we're privileged to have a small contract with in our community to build a gate. And we did it. We were so proud of what we did. You know, it makes us feel like, you can see the spark welding there, which is like a bomb. It gives us the feeling that we are becoming kind of light in the environment. We are proud of it because we even raise small money, at least $50 to join to invest in the farm work we were carrying. So the engineering desire we have, I think, has started. To me, it has started fully because it links us. It links some organizations that give us the work to do, and the United Nations. So I'm looking at the whole world converging into the green. It looks very capable. Now we're talking about the fish farm. The fish farm, by itself, we have a lake, Heaven's Lake. We have the Lake Queensborn, Lake Kingsborn. We have sub-ponds. The truth about it is not yet really professional in a way people would think you will come and see a lot of fishes there. But what we did is we brought in fishes from outside. There were few, and we have groomed or reared some of them. They have increased until we can go there, do our fishing to have fish to eat. Unfortunately, it is a local species. We are hoping to see how we can get a species that grow faster. So the whole place is not just a joke, it is something serious because in an environment, the river is far, we can go, but we have a place we can go and harvest some fishes to eat, especially tilapias are multiplying. So beside the fact that it is not yet generating income, we are very pleased with it. It is a kind of subsistence farm, just like any person could have a piece of land and work in his farm. We have our fish farm here. No matter what, we are pushing with it and we're happy. It has been established. We keep on working to ameliorate it. We think of refurbishing it in the nearest future, as we have to bring in different species of tilapia. I've contacted somebody. And it says it will be possible for me to do so. So I can imagine some few years to come we'll have enough fishes here. Even now we are not lacking that much. If we cannot sell, we have this we can be eaten. Because primarily was to start solving our personal hunger problems before moving to the outside. So we have something very important at hand already. And you see, we are trying to make our fish farm look a leisure environment. Environment, you can go for leisure activities. Sometimes when I walk, you can see from the pictures, I have to stay there. I have somewhere to rest, have a nap. The issue is that the environment is in a valley and the air is fresh. And in fact, the whole place is good, calm. When you're there, you feel very comfortable. So each time, like I do leisure fishing. Sometimes I go, when I fish, I send the fishes back, I pray for them. And this particular place is a prayer and meditation place for me in particular because I pray there most often than any other place. What I do is because there is water united with the land and the air. To me, I call them my heavenly creation. And when we create this four-position foundation, I pray and I know that the physical cosmos is integrated and we can move powerfully in whatever we're doing. So we have great experiences, in this place, in keeping it clean and so forth. Like when I was getting some of these machines, I had to get this backpack grass cutter. Of course, I respected this place a lot. I wanted to be. It's quite a heavenly place for me, and I don't want to have the kind of difficulty that I cannot keep it clean. So sometimes people were asking, why do you have this kind of thing you're doing? I say, no, this is very important. I'm already applying technology, machinery into leisure. And I prayed for this and I'm doing that. So it helps me. I'm already aging and sometimes physical clearance is difficult. So it's very important, as you can see. It's a very beautiful place. People come and visit and go. Some people come and ask questions for their research, to know what we're doing. And they have always given very positive and impressive responses. So these activities, they continue. An initiative came up how to protect the place from the predators. It needs much protection. There are birds coming always, so we have to do what we call vertical and horizontal aerial netting to stop the intrusion of predatory birds. So what I do is that, I have to set these nets, put them, as you see. Your left side, you see those I have to tie with a rope. They go from up to down. It reduces their angle of diving into the lake and so forth, and even taking off. They can easily get trapped. Then the other, like the heavily queen spawn and the heavily king spawn, I use the horizontal method. This horizontal method even catches the leaves that are around from not entering directly into the water. Both experiences are very interesting, and I have to even improve in doing this. It is very technically feasible, very important and good. You can see from the picture below here, the bird is trapped, by the net, and I imagine the one that comes and goes, maybe succeeds to go away, would never want to come back. This one did not, and I have to remove it. So this activity is still within the family. It's part of our family. These are family techniques. We also, have adopted another system. Immediately we discovered that there are many palatable vegetation leaves for these fishes. So usually I have to harvest this grass or these leaves or vegetation, then tie them in buckets, and then always tie and throw in the water. The fish happily eat and enjoy it. I was so happy increasing the feeding. They are feeding because I was very concerned to see how I can be feeding them. They really need care. They're in heaven. So I think it's very interesting. We're talking about the holy hatchery. The hatchery unit is very important. Unfortunately, when we built the hatchery out of curiosity, out of anxiety, out of passion, it must start. It was something that it must start. So the materials we used were not really good, and the building itself was not really, but we needed to initiate a start, and we initiated. I was hoping that by last year, December, till now, we should have hatched and sold, and surely would have improved in the building. Unfortunately, we made 3 trials, we didn't succeed, and we're hoping to to continue. But it was difficult having a broodstock, parent broodstock, and especially the materials I bought for the fingerlings to develop it. So see them, I'm still keeping some of them. I'm still keeping it about a case. You can see the one below here on my right, below right hand side, about a cage with wire gauze in order to stop rodents from destroying, tearing, and eating the feed. So I always put it there. Put it on the soybean sometimes, so they're a little bit safe there. So we are hoping, but the heavy rains fall have been very heavy, in fact, very disastrous for our hatchery, and the old plants, old wood, everything, the tarpaulin, everything is giving up. So we are still very hopeful. We hope in the nearest future, maybe with support from the farmer, if we can be able to have good yield and have a raise money, we're going to rebuild it, the hatchery with good blocks. And in fact, a more modern or a more better way than what we have here. Because the roof has, instead of being tarpaulin, we have to put durable zinc and then put pillars and put concrete walls, everything. And this the way we have to move forward. We will never give up. We are just starting. It is something, a component very, very, very important for us, and we are proudly concerned about it and have to move forward. So we recently brought up an initiative. We call it Help Me to Help You, in Thai initiative. Actually, as a refugee, I had a very huge experience, especially living with a community, very desperate, vulnerable community, and people. Helping them has been very costly for some of us, myself in particular. I was held in leadership, it's quite a very tedious engagement. For 4 years, it was difficult for me to have enough time to open up and be doing many things. So I discovered that we can help people when we don't expect anything, but the time comes when you have to help people and expect something from them. This is a divine principle. This is from God, because when you're a baby, you can help you without expecting, but when you become a child, you're growing up, your parents will expect from you, the community will expect from you. So we have now engaged in a higher approach in working with the community. We have to see a way to help them, but they must help us not to die. They must be able to be responsible to share in our burden and share the profit. So this INFA initiative helps us engage some skillful families in a livestock business and share profit instead of employing people. The benefits include that we do business and generate income. We help families and the community to share in our activities and our way of life and profit. We help develop a more sustainable network, in propelling our vision. And in this way, we create more opportunities for the development of our cooperative, because we are registered a cooperative, making people to understand the direction or the importance of making profit and gaining. So gradually, those who will be interested and would like to join our cooperative from the experience they will have, we will be able to meet them, and I hope they will. So it helps us also expand the heavenly blessings vision and the way of life that we have longed for. So let us see what we are doing now. We have what we call a startup. We had 2 families, or engaged 2 families. We started each family with 50 chicks. I support this, buy the chicks, I support the feeding, cover the expenditure. I will make sure we sell, then the profit that comes after, we remove subtracting the expenditure and everything, the money that's left as profit, we divide with the family or with the persons concerned, in a 60-40% ratio. The ratio may change, may change at any time, but that is how we do. So that they benefit by doing this 2, 3, 4, or to the 4th time, they will be able to have their own carton of 50 and be able to buy the feed and continue. It will be a great boost to their livelihood, and based on this, they must have accrued a lot of experience, and in this way, they move forward on their own. And they can also become people who can help the community. So the first family, we got 50 birds, become 50 in a carton, and while we're working, we have a loss of 5 birds, and we have started to, because they are almost 2 months. And while the second family, we also started with 50 birds, and we have had a loss of 5 birds. And the remaining ones are going to become, maybe, I think this is the 6th week, and they are entering the 6th week. So very soon we should be able to be selling. I hope we can be able to continue and move forward. And this has created a great experience and joy. I'm very grateful, seeing some persons enjoying the support and being part of it, where they are going to have an experience to be on their own. And, they are also doing something that gain from, because I will also have something that will help me to continue what I'm doing. So this is very important, supporting the life of some persons, bringing them up, by them developing those skills and having that experience. I'm so happy. I wish we would really keep on doing. We promote this initiative. So, there are other benefits we're having. We hope that these people can become instrumental persons for us to work as a network. We can work together. I just imagine we have 10 persons. In the end, we can, in the nearest future, have each have a poultry, and this can make the environment change. And we have the capacity. We have the vision, we have the capacity, because already with our Life Pro, that is a livestock processing production of knives, livestock feed production, we can really support people. People can get to the level of being able to produce feed and support them, even selling at low cost. And in fact, our setup is so interesting, and I just know it's a beginning, but that is in time initiative. It makes us also get very quick, let me say, impact, or deliver quick impact to the community. It makes us push forward our vision and make it a culture. So I'm just very grateful with the inspiration where we're doing our best. We are at this level now. We're going to continue. So in general, we are very grateful reaching this level. This is our expression. This is our expression of our gratitude. Getting to this level is just like a miracle. Oh, I want to do this, and you are moving. And we are still like a fetus, but we are not yet born out the embryo or whatsoever. We are still not being born, because we need to have our environment established and have some formal documentation. Then we can inaugurate our place and make sure by then we are able to have had some persons who can continue, who can be on ground, who can control, and then we can keep on thinking to expand. We are really experimenting income generation foundations, because all of our units and all what we have to do, even if we're helping people, must generate profit, emotional, material, financial, skills acquisition profit must come, because the people we have must be able to gain, be able to use that gain, contribute back to the community. So they are like what we're bringing in, that there's a little money we're investing in and hoping that we can generate some profit. What we're doing in the farm, we're only hoping we can generate some money to keep on increasing. So this is very important. Even if we receive support, must be not autonomously income generating, because this is good. And while we generate income, we'll be able to develop our institution, our infrastructures, or our of course, infrastructures and so forth. Yeah, so it's very interesting. We're already at that stage of having this experience. We are always improving. For instance, the idea of that came up is an improvement. It's a good initiative. We hope we'll be getting more and better initiative. Even the cooperative idea came up while we were looking how to develop our vision and attain our vision goals, objectives. We have a certain community called Baswa. There is a pastor there, and they were like, "Oh, we saw what you're doing, and would like us to create us a fish farm, or let us work in that way to have a fish farm, because we have an environment you should come and see, so that we can do even business and so forth, develop a fish farm." I was so happy because I got this information. But unfortunately, we have not started. The roads are too bad. Of course, myself, I'm very occupied. But hopefully, we have to do it. We have to go create a fish farm, possibly put even the tilapias. Actually, what I'm saying is that what we're trying to do is not just that we must have a professional fish farm for income generating. No, our fish farms are just like ordinary lifestyle where you have a farm. People should be able to have farms, but these farms, they can make profit. So everything we're doing is that the idea of people having fish farms, especially natural fish farms, is also very important for us. I'm proud. I'm happy with what this pastor is connecting to us for us to achieve it together. We're in contact with a fish breeder who is guiding us, especially where to get, especially matured called rootstocks, because especially for catfish, we need the rootstock, parent rootstock. So for now, because of the situation of our hatchery, we have to set it up, but I have to maintain contacts him. So that we'll be doing, we'll be related, and I have to do more because actually um, have to do a lot of outreach, to conferences and so forth. I have to work for different persons, but we need to have the foundation, especially for our money, because you are the one to use your money and do what you want to do. So this is why we are at this level. We are so happy. Our hopes are alive. We are also studying the entire farm work, the environment, climate, and related activities. Yeah, what I mean here is that what we're doing in the farm, we need a lot of courage because each time whether the weather is not good whatsoever, the productivity, the animals around, rodents and everything. Yes, it's all very arduous, but what I know is that is the beginning. We have to take note of these things, struggle to improve them every day because we have to do and do better. So we are busy. We are also experimenting in, of course, the initiative to see how we can increase community impartation and expansion of our mission. We understand the arising challenges when we are alive. Yeah, this is like our cooperation. We understand that there are great challenges, but we are alive. We are not. We didn't want to do things without challenges. There are always challenges, so but we must keep on doing and leave an indelible foundation for generations to come. So there is nothing that will hold us. I'm glad that we keep on, you know, uh, improving. The fire is burning in our minds. We are alive. We are hopeful. And we would like to receive questions, if possible. But we're ending here. We want to thank all of you, those who are watching, those who are listening, those who have been supporting. And fine, we cannot really measure your support, but it's so wonderful. And we acknowledge that need to keep on working, keep on doing. So our vision of life is still rolling. So we are very grateful. At least we should be informed for the present activities we are carrying on. For those who are familiar with these our programs, they have been listening and to other reports, but this is the last report we are having. So we are just let me say preparing to start harvesting of the first farm, and then maybe planting and so forth. So thank you very much. I'll keep on giving you people, giving information on what we're doing. Yeah, we're very grateful. Thank you. So thank our dear big parents, we thank our two parents of thank all of you. I have a word I always say, heavenly partners to me, those in the spirit world, those in the physical world, all our partners, we are working, interdependently, we are working for mutual fulfillment. And, we are yielding in mutual profit system for entire humanity, entire cosmos. So what we are doing here is not limited to race, religion, to environment, or we are heaven. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening. Okay, for listening and waiting for your answers and questions.
Hey, thank you so much, Reverend Cosmos. So yes, he did, Reverend Cosmos did manage to join. So if anybody has any questions for him, with regards to his presentation and the things that he's doing, please feel free to either unmute yourself and ask or put it into the Zoom chat, or if you're on YouTube or Facebook, please also just put it into the live stream chat as well, and we can convey it to him.
Yeah, I got a few questions there.
Go for it.
Get started. Okay, one question is I was wondering about the area where you're planting there. Are there wild animals running around? Like animals that might maybe like eat the harvest or something? Or is it safe?
Yeah, good evening to all of us. I don't know if you're hearing from me.
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, all right. Thank you. First of all, I'm very sorry with the presentation. You know, anyway, there are animals. There are animals. The area is bush. It's quite a very. It's a bush, a kind of a forest. So there are animals around, even though there are farms. So there are animals, especially rodents.
Oh. Hmm. And the other question I had is, you know, the water for the pond, where you get that water, how you fill up that pond there? Is it just rainwater or you pumping it in? Or is it like connected to some river or something?
Yeah, the pond is just like a stream. The place, first of all, is a valley, but unfortunately, before I came there, the whole place, because of the forest, the water could not flow and pass, so it created a marshy environment. So when I came there, I have to make a track for the water to be passing. Then when I dug the ponds. So water come through the lake. I have to put some pipes so the water enters through the lake and it goes into the ponds, the Heavenly Queen's Pond and the Heavenly King's Pond, then the other ponds. But I have to regulate the water flow, especially in the rainy season, so that it should not overflow the lake and the ponds. So I have to create a different pathway for the water to be, flowing. So it's not it is a spring, a spring, a kind of a spring.
Yeah, spring water, nice. Yeah, that's great because I was
It's
thinking
but
if
it's
the
spring.
lake is
The water is coming from the ground somewhere.
yeah, that's great. Because if you just pump in water and the water sits stagnant, you know, I think not so easy that fish can survive. But if you have always some water coming in, that can always bring like nutritions and things which the fish, you know, if the fish on the bottom or something, they have something they can eat there naturally there. The water flows into it.
Yeah, let me add something. Fishes. I was so surprised when I was digging the lake and the ponds. I found fishes. I found very stubborn, very resistant fishes that could live that lived there. One common fish I found was the electric
Electric eel? Oh, electric eel, that can be dangerous.
Especially breeded ones are fragile, but local ones are very resistant. So I
Mm.
understand what you're saying. Generally, if it is water to be maybe pumped into it, it would not really be a very good environment. You're right.
Mm. Yeah, I also was thinking like if there's like a lot of, you know, wild areas out there, sometimes they say like if there's like a pond or like a lake, sometimes they can attract snakes, right? Is there such a thing around or not in that place?
Yeah, that particular place, like I said, it was it was bushy. It's a bush,
Mm.
and snakes to me, especially the lake. Though there are types of snakes that will feed on fishes, but in the lake, like I call it Heaven's Lake,
Nobody comes,
it's a
that's
little,
good.
yeah, for me, if I find a snake there, I will not be angry because I just feel as it is in the natural environment.
Mm.
It has found somewhere it could live. Because I was very touched when I discovered that, like some of those fishes I found were finding it difficult to live because the place wasn't good for them. Maybe there was no care. So if not about that's actually one of the reasons I have what I call the Heavens Lake. The Heavens Lake, usually when I go to places I get fishes, I just come and put them mix. I don't care. All fishes that I can get from anywhere, I come and put there. I'm also looking for even some species of fishes that are like endangered. I used to feel that I should even bring them and live there. So it's a wonderful community for fishes and aquatic creatures. But the ponds, in due time, I must separate them. I would like catfish to be on their own and the tilapias be on their own.
Mm,
Yeah.
that's better. And then one thing I was wondering to say, so the fish you're feeding with some certain grass or some green grass, they're
Yeah.
eating that green
Yeah.
grass.
Yeah. Fishes, though not all fishes, but they are also like animals. There are those that have a herbivoral attitude. They feed on the vegetation,
Yeah.
and while some are carnivorous. So like tilapias are not very carnivorous, especially some species like
Mm,
the ones we are having. They are more let me say, herbivorous. They like different types of let me say the grass or the crops or the vegetation. So those that I discovered now I have to always look for them and come and pack there for them to be eaten. I used to enjoy seeing them, eat those leaves.
yeah, that reminded me like in 96, 98, there were some boats to Brazil and Paraguay, and there's a Paraguayan river there, and there's a fish that has the name Baku. But that Baku is also like a vegetarian. So there is some plants, they're growing along the river bench, and they have those kind of green, round fruits or something that's hanging over the water. So they're jumping up and they're eating that. That fish eats that kind of stuff. So when you catch Baku,
Yeah,
collect those
yeah,
ones, put them on the hook, and then you catch them. But that was for me also interesting to see that fish eats. Usually fish is known, eat the worm, or eat other fish, or crab or something like this. But no, that fish also feeds on vegetation. So I thought that's
yeah,
remarkable. So when I saw the picture where you say you're collecting certain leaves and then the fish eats it, I think this is amazing. Basic eat
yeah. Thank
vegetation
you.
and become meat, right?
Yeah,
It's like like you see a cow or bull, they're eating grass, but become meat. Rabbit, eat grass, become meat, right? Tigers and those kind of animals, they gotta eat meat. And then they multiply, it's also meat. So, but you have the grass there, so it means it produces the meat there. So yeah, that was in my mind. Yeah, I mean, I give you like a lot of credit there. It's the way you're investing in that project there. It's pretty remarkable.
thank
Uh,
you for your
yeah,
support.
in one of the pictures, I see that white car in that picture. It looks like a nice little white car from your chief there. So it's so he's driving around and checking on things. So that's pretty.
Actually, the white car was for the head of sub office, the UN head of sub office.
What's a UN car? Ooh.
Yeah, they are our UNHCR, the United Nations High Commission for Refugees,
Mm,
the head of the sub office where I am.
mm,
So he's the one having the car.
yeah. By the way, since Africa is so hot, also the cars, they're running like a lot of them on diesel or also on gasoline.
Mix. In Africa, though it is hot, but it is also cold. There are periods. We have basically the rainy season, the dry season.
Oh,
So there are diesel engines. There are you know petrol engines. So yeah,
gas, I saw you have a generator there. That's gas, right? The gas generator you had in that picture, make the electricity.
yeah.
That's gas?
It
Or
uses
also diesel.
it's not diesel, but
It's
it
gas.
has the diesel alternative. The diesel version. That one is the gas.
Yeah, because diesel is a little bit heavier, but it's less sensitive as gas. Horse fishing and everything goes.
Yeah.
So yeah. No, it's very remarkable. Of course, once you share that with us, it gives us like a little bit of a picture there.
That particular gen, I was negotiating to get it, to keep it, to buy it, but yeah, it wasn't possible. I like it because it is big.
Mm. Yeah, I think that project, I mean, you set like an example, but I think when people can realize about the value, once there's committed people coming together, like you said, making a team projects, I think that will be the time. I think then you can just gradually like expand. If you get it to work, then you can say, hey, look, we do like this, it produces this, and it's just a matter of kind of like expanding it to a greater plane, so to say.
Yeah, I
This
share
way
with
of
that.
question is very nice. Yeah.
I share with you. That's true. Generally, when there are many people involved or people will come in, it will be more organized. Mhm.
Yeah, but thanks for sharing this. Very nice. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Captain Manny. I also have a question. I
Yeah.
guess I was curious, like, I know in the very beginning it was like mainly just you. I guess now that you've developed more on like your initiative, is it still mainly just you, or do you have any like help with like personnel and stuff?
I don't know. For what usually it is me because I don't know. I am the vision bearer. I'm trying to involve people. In terms of support, I think it's only this house that has been supporting us. I am trying to see how to seek for support and other partners, but it needs a lot of organization. I am of the opinion that I have to set a better foundation, and then see how I can go out looking for more support and sponsors. Because usually, if somebody wants to support me, he always will want to see what I've been doing, how organized it is, and so forth and so forth. So I'm of the opinion that I still have a lot of work, doing as you people have been supporting. You are the only people who have been supportive to me. So I'm still organizing. So I hope it is very possible in the future you have people with whom you who can partner. And that is why I'm struggling to make sure I have institutions. For instance, talking about a cooperative, I must have a formal institution and some legality or papers, documents that, when you're dealing with a partner who is very structured and formal, they must always check on those things. No, but for this level, I'm still struggling to organize. I think, like I said earlier, we are still too young.
Thank you, Cosmos. That makes sense. Does anybody else have any other questions, comments? Uma, has there been anything from the YouTube, Facebook side?
No, but I had a little question. I know at the time I think we have to finish soon, but Reverend Cosmos, are there like any like youth or children in that area or?
Okay, yes. Let me explain it this way. Like I've always mentioned, I'm a refugee, and when I came, we were under the United Nations. Even that United Nations working with the Nigerian government to provide us where to live and to see how we will be able to live. So with so many other refugees, we have it's a whole community. You have so many people, uh, adults and children. Of recent, many people have dispersed. Some have run back to Cameroon and so forth. Very few people are left. But we are living with a Nigerian community that has all the different groups of people in a community, the aged, youths and even children. So there are. But as far as my activities are concerned, having people who can engage is a little bit difficult. Refugees have been kind of people with a mentality like we use the word vulnerable, and dealing with them is so fragile, and sometimes you get implicated. They can implicate you. I didn't close the doors to deal with anybody, yeah, but I'm very skeptical as well. I don't want to mix myself in a way I can have run into trouble. So whatever be the case, I'm doing everything possible to see that people can get connected, but in a very organized way. So, and for me, like we know, we are struggling to bring ideas and visions and a way of life that we need first of all to leave it and see how people can join us and move forward. So sometimes we don't count, I don't count so much on them, especially for what type of, whether manual support or whatsoever. I am ready to deal with any human being who will be responsible enough, be you a Nigerian, be you a refugee. So there are people actually. Thank you.
Yeah, I have a little comment. So I really liked, oh yeah, thank you for the answer to the question. I really liked the part where you were showing like a aspect of leisure, you know. I know the situation is like the foundation is still being set. It's like in the initial stage. So of course, you know, but you didn't forget to put this like, you know, kind of effort into like, you know, making it into a hobby, things like that. Because I remember reading True Father's words where like we should like really nurture young people and even children who just like really love water, you know, love the ocean or love going on the water or something like that. That's the only way we can inherit this kind of stuff. So anyway, and it made me think like it's really like impressive, amazing. I feel like looking at something starting, something amazing starting, you know what I mean? Like many people have visions, you know, and many people have big visions too, but like, you know, 90% of the people just have the vision, you know. But like some people actually start something, and then once you start, there's motion, and then you learn from mistakes or failures, and then just, you know, if you continue, the there's no choice but to succeed, you know what I mean? So I feel like I'm starting to see, I'm seeing something like I feel like you're doing something historical, you know, every time you show us your progress. So yeah, I'm really like honored to see and kind of be part of your, you know, small part of your like foundation there, as we like support you spiritually mostly. But yeah, so thank you so much always.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let me just add something. You see, when I was presenting, I'm always using we, because me, what I'm doing, I'm including you people. I know we are one family. We have our resources, spiritual and by heart united, even if there is a distance. If as far as it is going, I see it as we. We are really that group of people trying to move forward in that way. The aspects like you were talking about. Those like children involving children. Yeah, I really sometimes there are certain pictures I don't want to bring here because with us refugees, sometimes using some pictures is very disturbing. You can be called up that you use a certain picture without consent and all those kind of things. But like you said, myself, I'm thinking like that. Though you see, that is why I even created the lake because sometimes I have to call children to have the experience of fishing and everything, trying to bring them to this direction. But the truth also is that though the population has reduced, it is I have to do it with care, because of where I am and the type of environment I'm living in. I should not do something because people may go, oh, you're exploiting children. Why did you take them into your activity some sort of way? So have to always have a way to do things. And that is our ultimate direction. We have to involve people, and generally, the young people are those who can have a lot of time, more time to always carry what we're doing forward because we are already aging. So it's very technical. I think we keep on doing better. I though I can't talk much about what is going to happen by the end of the year. I have other things I may be thinking to get to where we can have larger bodies of water. Mine has been always to move also to the littorals because where we are is actually mainland. We are not close to the sea, so it's okay. Like you said, we are moving forward here. We will succeed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Reverend Cosmos. I think that's time, but for anybody who has any lingering thoughts or questions, please feel free to reach out to either me or my mom and we can tell it to Reverend Cosmos, or if you're in the group chat, then you can just tell Reverend Cosmos himself. But yeah, thank you so much, Reverend Cosmos, for your report. I think it's really cool. I think my mom said it really well, but I'm sure a lot of us are really honored to be able to be a part of, yeah, hearing your journey and figure like how you're actually, despite all these different difficulties, you're actually moving forward and keeping on like doing this based on Ocean Providence, and it's really just really inspiring. But yeah, I hope other people can, yeah, either on the live stream or just in the future watching the recordings can also feel similar inspiration for what you're doing. So thank you so much. Um, yeah, and as usual, if you have a program or a project, or you know someone with a program or project related to Ocean Providence, that you would want to see presented here, please let us know and contact my mom at minobus@gmail.com. And then you can have a spot for the Connect program. It's once a month. And a couple announcements, or just one, is yeah, if you want to support Heavenly Parents Fish Farm Academy and what Reverend Cosmos is doing, um, we do have a GoFundMe. It's in the link tree that we typically share every Sunday for these calls. But yeah, if you want to support even a little bit through monetary ways, along with spiritual prayer and stuff like that, please uh, donate to the GoFundMe and help out. The next Connect is tentatively August 3rd, the third week of August, not August 3rd. And then next Sunday, we're going to be having a Hundoke deep dive. Yep, that's it. Yeah, would anyone like to give an ending prayer for us today?
Maybe ask Reverend Cosmos for the.
Yeah, Reverend Cosmos, would you be willing to give us an ending prayer today?
Okay, okay, let me do. Most often I'm afraid of the network. Sometimes it gets, it's all right. Okay, let's pray. Let's pray. We're praying. Thank you, our heavenly parents. Thank you, our true parents, heaven and mankind. We say thank you to our Holy Mother Hand. Thank you to all of our heavenly partners. We just discussed about activities of the Ocean Providence development in Africa. We pray, Heavenly Parents, O Lord, that may you be joyful for the little efforts that we're making, and let this become seeds sown all over the world. We pray for the little efforts we are making, let it generate greater inspiration for the expansion of these dreams. And we pray for more success, victories, in order that we can really contribute in making the world a better place. Um, Sometimes we are really in different places, but we remain one in mind, in heart and love. We have the same vision, the same mission, and we stand in the same position as a heavenly family. So we are doing everything to take greater responsibility. We want to thank all of us, and even those who are not directly here with us, for their continuous support, that it has been of great mutual benefit to some of us, and that we'll keep on moving forward, that greater victory will be achieved. So we pray as we separate, let us be in good health and do greater things. By the time we'll be meeting next week, you'll be happier, and we'll be happier, and the world will be a happier place. We pray that our gratitude goes to heaven and to our Holy Mother Hand, especially the situations that the world is going through, that our courage is unlimited, and our persistence, in doing the right things, and good things that benefit humanity as a whole would be unlimited. So we thank you once more. As we separate, may we go with your heart. We pray through our Holy Mother Hand. My name is Cosmos of the Central Blessed Family. We pray, Aju.
Jude, thank you so much, Reverend Cosmos, and thank you everybody for joining today. We will see
Thank
you
you so
guys
much.
next week.
Thank you.